Hello, my friends. Glad to be back. Yesterday I couldn't make update on my channel, but today I'm back, and we have quite interesting topics to talk about. So yeah, let's begin. Today is 22nd of December. Now it's almost 12 o'clock Moscow time, middle of the day, and definitely there is some interesting topics to discuss, and the interesting news, significant news, one may say. So let's begin. But before I start, let me ask you to like this video, to leave some commentary, and share links to my channel or my videos, because as you can see, now we are more than 937 last time I checked. So it will be great if my channel will reach 1,000 subscribers before end of this year. That would be a great New Year's gift for me. So please, if you can, share links to my videos with your friends who are interested in politics and geopolitics, or in opinion of from Russia. That would be a great deal for me. So yeah, let's begin. Of course, one of the main topics in Russian media is Zelensky's visit to US. So I will start with Zelensky's visit to the USA. This is a TASS news agency. I did already open news, one of the news that are making headlines in Russia, and it seems like, at least that's how Russian media is presenting it. And right now in this publication, they are operating on based of Washington Post's analytics publication in Washington Post, which says that Zelensky did not achieve its goals with the visit, because U.S. government denied him with modern weapons. I'm not sure that this statement is quite accurate, because as we know, Biden himself did stated that U.S. will provide Zelensky's Nazi regime with additional $2 billion worth of weapons, including Patriot systems, Patriot air defense systems. So we can say that Zelensky's visit, at least partially, was successful, and in addition to this $2 billion package, it's quite possible that U.S. Congress will approve yet another huge package of help to Zelensky's Nazi regime, which is worth 38 billion US dollars. Zelensky did talk about it when he was speaking before the US Congress. Most likely this amount of money will be directed to the Zelensky's Nazi regime. Question is, I mean, how long this craziness will continue without any challenge? Because, for God's sake, U.S. citizens, many thousands and many millions, I should say, citizens of USA are struggling with daily life for many reasons, because of high level of inflation, because of high prices and some stagnation in economy. And as you know, U.S. economy is in like second quarter past that U.S. economy is not growing. So technically, U.S. economy is in decline. But still, Washington is spending tens of billions of taxpayers' dollars in support of Zelensky's Nazi regime, and I wonder how long this will continue without any challenge. Because, for God's sake, freedom-loving U.S. Citizens should raise voice and start demanding questions, from government. After all, even this fact that Patriot missiles will be sent to Ukraine, even this is quite a huge, in the sense that these systems may not do any great harm to, let's say, Russian side, because Scott Ritter, this famous expert from the USA, he's a military expert. He did explain that, I mean, Patriot missiles, first of all, they should be NATO operators for these systems, which means quite possibly they will be US citizens that are operating this system. And secondly, this system is very vulnerable because it's stationary. It cannot move as fast as, let's say, multi-launch rocket systems that are based on a chassis of some vehicles, like HIMARS, for example. Patriot batteries are stationary. They cannot move fast enough. So once Russian side will detect radar waves of Patriot, this system will be targeted and most likely destroyed, which means operators of the system will become casualties of this conflict. And the point is that it seems like US involvement in this conflict is rising day by day. And for example, in the comment sections, on my channel or some other channels, I do see more and more questions about risks of direct conflict between Russia and the US, or Russia and NATO. And even though me personally right now still think that there will be no large-scale war between Russia and the US, or Russia and West, I'm almost sure for 100% that most likely we will see local scale fight, local scale engagement between Russian and NATO soldiers. That can be Polish soldiers, because Poland is, as you know, getting ready to send its troops, at least in western parts of Ukraine. More than that, Warsaw is mobilizing some 200,000 to 300,000 reservists and that's quite significant development too. So yes, I'm quite sure that even though large-scale war between Russia and NATO seems like, I mean, I can't believe that Western elites are so stupid that they will go down on this path to provoke a large-scale war between Russia and NATO. But local-scale conflict we will definitely see. Local-scale skirmishes, if I may say. But who knows? I may be wrong, man. And if U.S. and other Western capitals will continue to increase its involvement in Ukrainian conflict, then may some even human error become enough reason to provoke hot war between our sides. I mean, Russia and the West. And if that happens, that means that world that we know will end. And to my surprise, I don't see that society in Europe or in USA, for example, do understand how big a deal this is, because we are talking about end of the world. If it comes to direct large scale war between Russia and West. No, Russia does have enough nuclear weapons to destroy Western world, for example, many times over. And same we can say about USA, for example. US has enough weapons to destroy not just Russia, but entire world many times over. And it's very, very strange that I don't see in Western states any movement of civil society, any activity against involvement of their countries in this conflict. For God's sake, I mean, if you ask US citizens, most of them probably would not show you Ukraine on the map. I mean, US citizens hardly do care about Ukraine more than they care about themselves. But still, there is no anti-war movement in the West. I mean, at least significant one. So that's surprising. So yes, of course, main news. One of the main news in Russian media outlets are this Zelensky's visit in USA. Everyone does understands that U.S. Washington will use this visit to send to Ukraine even more weapons and even more billions and billions. Ukraine is becoming kind of laundry for U.S. taxpayers' money, because I'm quite sure from those billions that are sent to Ukraine, maybe even more than half of it is will end up on accounts of the Ukrainian politicians and their Western masters. I'm quite sure about that. So, they are using now Ukraine as an opportunity to just steal taxpayers' money, American taxpayers' money. And probably you will agree with me on that topic. So it is what it is, man. It's sad to see that US is getting involved in this conflict, more and more. But what can you do? As long as US society is passive and not demanding from its government to stop risking with world war, you know, before U.S. Elites, including deep state, is like unchecked, they're not gonna stop. They're just not gonna stop, and then who knows, man, what's gonna happen. So let's go and see some other news. After all, I'm quite sure that Russia will emerge from this conflict victorious, one way or another. No weapons that are sent to Ukraine will change this. I'm quite sure about it. But we may, if Western elites don't stop, they may provoke a hot war between Russia and NATO, and that will definitely mean end of the war, as we know it. So let's check some other news. Here we have information. This is RIA Novosti. Here we have information that Zelensky's Nazi regime is sending special forces into Artyomovsk, that's Bakhmut, and this town is becoming main hot point on the front line. And in my understanding, in few weeks' time, Russian side will take control over this town, but for some reason, Zelensky's regime is not giving orders to Ukrainians armed forces to retreat, which means there be huge casualties there. There will be huge casualties there for Russian side and even more for Ukrainian side. So let's see, man. Let's see. We have news. It's kind of all Russian media outlets are talking about it. That former head of Roscosmos, Rogozin, Dmitry Rogozin, was wounded in Donbass. And as you know, I did even made separate video on a topic that Rogozin, this person, may be successor of Putin. I was thinking that Putin will appoint him as a prime minister in near future, and after that he will resign, I mean Putin, and give his presidential powers to prime minister Rogozin. And after election, I was thinking that Rogozin, that way, Rogozin will become next president of Russia. I do think that this kind of combination to transfer power may work. Russian media outlets, particularly state-run media outlets or propaganda outlets, are actively promoting Rogozin for the last few months. And now we can say we can say that these propaganda outlets will start to make some kind of hero from him, that he is not just visited front lines, but he was even wounded. Even though some Telegram channels are saying that Rogozin was celebrating his birthday in one of the restaurants in Donetsk. In Donetsk region. He was in a hotel, and maybe this hotel had some restaurant, and he and many other people were celebrating his birthday, and Ukrainians somehow get information about it, about exact location, and they did target that place. And Rogozin was wounded, as Russian media outlets are saying, and one of the persons that was with him died in this attack. So, I'm quite sure this incident will be used to even to promote Rogozin even in a bigger scale. And Russian propaganda outlets, if my prediction is right and correct, and Rogozin truly is a successor of the Putin, and if Putin really thinks to make him prime minister, then resign and give him presidential powers and then opportunity to become a president after early elections. If that's the case, then I'm quite sure Russian media outlets will make a hero from him, using this incident that he was wounded. Anyhow, let's go and check some other news, and I like to talk about this news, for example. Today, head of International Atomic Agency, Rafael Grossi, will start his negotiations in Moscow with with Russian political and military leadership. And the main point of this negotiation will be securing Zaporozhye nuclear power plant. As you remember, I did predict like months ago already, or maybe more, that Russian side may leave Zaporozhye nuclear power plant and city of Energodar, and transfer power control over this territory to the International Atomic Energy Agency. And I'm still thinking that that's what's gonna happen. After these negotiations, Russian side probably will announce that it's withdrawing its forces or equipment, military equipment, from Zaporozhye nuclear power plant, even though there is not much military equipment there, only armored personal carriers for personnel that are securing this area. But most likely, after these negotiations, Russian side will probably announce that they are withdrawing from Zaporozhye nuclear power plant, which means city of Energodar too, because this nuclear power plant is bordering that town. I mean, time will tell, but Russian society will don't receive this kind of development well. That's for sure. And many questions will be raised. I mean, what the hell is going on after after all? How long Russian side should regroup or retreat, whatever we're gonna call it, from already liberated territories. So let's wait and see. This information is quite significant one. So yes, time will tell. But I think before end of this year, we will hear information about Zaporozhye nuclear power plant, and my prediction is that Russian side will withdraw from there. Sadly, but let's wait and see. What else, man? What else? What else? Of course, I should talk about this news. I should talk about this news. In my previous video, I did talk about Russian national currency, and now we have information that Russian ruble was devaluated even more. Today, $1 exchange rate did reach 72 rubles for one US dollar. Russian ruble did lost almost 1.5% in a single day. Euro is 76 and 76.85 rubles. So what can I say, man? I'm quite sure this rate is this exchange rate is not not good for Russian society, not good for Russian economy in the long terms, in the long run. But it seems like Russian government is using manipulating with the exchange rate to fill up Russian budget, federal budget. And if that's the case, then as I said in my previous videos, I mean, Russian ruble may lost even more, and in a week or 2 weeks time, we may see $1 exchange rate like $1 75 to 80 rubles. In a few months' time, $1 may reach like 100 rubles or even more. I mean, who knows, man? Because it's obvious that this way Russian government is filling up federal budget, and they are choosing easy way to deal with problems, and easy way is not always best way. We're gonna see rise of prices. We're gonna see high level of inflation because of this money manipulation with rubles, and this is, I mean, nothing good in it for Russian society, at least for low and middle level income households, and in this case 80% of even more 80-90% of Russian society lives on low or middle level income. So it is what it is, man. Russian ruble is losing its positions dramatically and very fast, in a fast rate. What else, man? There is many other news. For example, remember, Russia do have one aircraft carrier, Admiral Kuznetsov, and we have information here that there was some fire on this aircraft carrier. It seems for me that this aircraft carrier become kind of a laundering machine for corrupt elements, in corrupt officials and corrupt heads of state-run corporations that are working on maintenance of this aircraft carrier. Because it's hard to believe that, I mean, every other month or every other year, this carrier is burning, man. And there is some incidents on this carrier, and more money are spent to deal with the issues that this ship is having. For example, I mean, this is I cannot say that this is main news, but I just noticed this news and I was thinking, come on, man, they did burn it again, man. I'm quite sure they are just specially born in this aircraft carrier. And that way they are, stealing money, because they always can say, you know what, because of fire, what everything was damaged in this compartment, and now we need some additional billion or 2 billion, or to make repairs. And and after some time they are fire again on this carrier, and then some more money are given to deal with it. And I mean, it's not funny, man, but what you gonna do, man, when system is corrupt? You cannot accept anything to be done in a proper way, man. It is what it is. So probably this is it for now. Once I finish this video, I will remember that I want to talk about some other topics too, but this video is already 31 minutes, so I should stop it here. Okay, have a nice day, take care, and see you tomorrow.